Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lizzy. For those of you who don't know, ignore how I look right now. So I have gotten pretty inspired by this video idea because videos like this have been like making their way to BookTube, and like I'm intrigued. I want to do a video like this. So like I said, this is the first book that I'm going to read today, and I have heard nothing but good things about this book. It sounds like a fantasy that I'm going to probably fall in love with. Like, I've never read a fantasy about vampires, and it's very intriguing, and I heard it's very fast-paced, and the world building is not, like, very hard. It just sounds very interesting. So yeah, Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is what I'm going to read today. Literally, this author I have only seen anything about this author in the past month. So I decided, let's start with this book. I feel like we'll start with a banger. And maybe if I cheat, the novella can count as a book, right? Because it's a book. Maybe I can read that one tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully I can get this done today. This will be quite the achievement. So yeah, let's start with Serpent and the Wings of Night. I felt like I needed to do an update for you guys. I'm currently halfway through Serpent and the Wings of Night. I took a little break to do dishes, just clean my kitchen and make some dinner. And now I have my robe on. I'm gonna listen to some music and we're gonna finish this book. It is 6 o'clock. Will I finish this book today? I really hope. I'm stressed out because I really want to do this video justice. It's not a hard task. Like, reading is not hard. It's just like I might be here till like midnight because of the structure of the physical book. It is really it hurts my hands to read, and I just think that I'm not a big fan of just like the way this book is structured. Even the words inside, like not the writing, like the physical words, like it just the pages are so thick. It's just a block of just, I don't know. If you guys have held this book physically, you know what I'm talking about. It's just that type of book. So yeah, I think that's why I'm like stressed about finishing it, because the book just hurts my hands to hold. This is when a Kindle would come in handy. But yep, I'm just gonna finish. Yeah, and then I will give my updates on how I think of the book when I'm done. So far, I'm really enjoying the I just love it's a very simple world. Like, I've read a pretty good amount of fantasies, so now it's not really hard for my brain to adjust to a new world. Like, they all have a similar basis, and it's kind of easy now to like compartmentalize my brain with all of these different fantasies, and it's just like I've just read a good amount now where like I am not having trouble with like world building in books. Like, there's not a ton of world building in this book because it's very simple. Like, it's just vampires. It's very simple. Different vampire courts. Like, I'm not having a hard time understanding anything at all, which I think is really helpful when you're reading, because when you can't really understand what's going on, then like you're just stumped the whole time and you're just stuck like trying to figure out what to read. Like, my husband he's read the ACOTAR series. I've made him read it, and he loved it. And I was like, you need to read Crescent City now. If you know, you know. And he started yesterday, and he was like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And I was like, yeah, Crescent City is a whole other ballpark. Like, that world has got a lot of depth to it. Sarah J. Maas has really pondered on that world. Like, the basis, like, everything about it is very detailed and straightforward. And he's like, there's so many new things, so many new names, like, all this. And I was like, I know. What you need to do is you need to just vibe and read, and everything comes together in the end. Like, let's say I'm not really, like, understanding something in this moment. I'm like, okay, don't focus on that. Just vibe and read. And then once that thing gets resolved, you're like, okay, now that makes sense. Thankfully, this world's fairly simple. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish it, and I will get back to you guys when I'm all done, hopefully today, because I just would like to follow the guidelines of this. It's not a guideline. I just would like to finish this book today. So yeah, I'll get on that. I'll see you guys in a bit with hopefully another update. Hello guys, so it is now Wednesday, and last night I did eventually finish Serpent in the Wings of Night. I'm going to reserve my star rating till like the end, and I'll do a star rating of all the books that I read this week. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this series. The ending made me want to get right into the second book, which I don't have, which is really sad. But yeah, so yeah, I did finish this one last night, and I did start the novella for after this book, which is Six Scorched Roses. And yeah, it's just a little novella. It's a completely different story, completely different characters, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot. It's like a very interesting story. I'm a little almost halfway through. I'm gonna finish it today, but I'm counting this as a book because on Goodreads it says counts as a book. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna read today. I'm gonna finish fairly soon. I'm rather enjoying it. So yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm done. I know this is just a novella, but I'm gonna need a full-blown book and story about these two because my heart is so full. I am loving it so much. It's so good. Okay, so I did just finish Six Scorched Roses, and this was literally so good. Like, I literally loved everything about it. I thought that the plot was like, it was so good. It has nothing to do with Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's still in the same world and everything, just completely different characters, completely different plot. And I really want to see more of these characters, which apparently we are going to get more of them in future books, and I'm really excited. I actually really enjoyed this, surprisingly. And novellas are like novellas, they're just small stories, but this one, like, it was like just a whole story packed in like 180 pages. Like, so many things happened in this small book. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so this is my book for day 2 out of 7. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, and then I will then share my book for that day. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Hello guys, and happy Thursday. I do have a very exciting book for today, and I have seen this book literally everywhere. I'm talking like all over my For You page. It is the fantasy of this month. Like, it has overtaken everything, and I genuinely have not seen anything bad about it. I've maybe seen like 2 videos of people saying they didn't enjoy this book, but like, anyways. But yeah, it is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, but this book sounds so intriguing. This, I think, is about like dragons, and I think it's about a girl who like gets put into like dragon college, and like in this book, like if you don't find a dragon that you will like bond with, you like die. So like you find a dragon or you die. And I think this girl is like the underdog, and she's like very small and weak. So I think it'll be really amazing. I am genuinely so excited because I love dragons so much, and there's really not a ton of fantasy books with dragons in it. Like, there's just really not. But I love Game of Thrones. I love House of the Dragon. I literally love dragons so much. I don't know what it is about dragons. I think it's because they're just so mythological and just so grand and just so cool. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this book already. And she just announced that the next book is coming later this year. So yeah, I'm just very pumped and excited to start this book. So I'm just going to just get all my things together and just start reading. So yeah. Hello guys, so it is a couple hours later. I'm on page 168 and I am literally loving this book so far. Something happened that like is just so pivotal, and like I was like literally sitting here now like I like couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But I am genuinely loving it so far. There's like 500 pages in this book. I'm not even on page 200. So let's hope I finish it today. I will. I'm going to make myself finish it today. If I have to sit here for 6 more hours, I will. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue reading, and we will see. Hello guys, so ignore my state, please. I feel like I always have to tell you that because I'm home all the time. So what am I gonna do? Anyways, I just wanted to give a quick update. I'm on 362 and there's 490 something pages, so I'm getting there. It is 10 o'clock at night though. So I don't know that I will finish it today, which I'm really upset about. I'm just reading this book a little slower than I would like. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and read for a little bit. If I don't finish it tonight, which I don't think I will finish it in the morning, and then I'll start on our 4th book tomorrow, which I'm going to reserve that announcement for tomorrow, but it's a good one. And I'll probably finish that one tomorrow too. So like I'm gonna finish this one tomorrow morning and also finish another book. So we'll see. then stuff's about to go down. Hello guys, so I did just finish Fourth Wing, and I am aware this is the fourth day and that this continued on to the fourth day, but it's only noon and I finished it. I got plenty of time in the day to finish my next book, but I did just finish this one, and wow, this one was so good. It was so different than any fantasy I've ever read. Really, the dragons, I just love dragons so much. So the fact that there's dragons in this book really just made it. Like, it was just so epic. Like, it was so cool. And the bond that these people make with their dragons, like, it really just pulls at my heartstrings. It's just the stakes of bonding with dragons and just like everything about it was just so cool. It was so cool. A little bit, like, I'm talking like there was like 50 pages in this book where I was bored. I don't know why. I think the politics in this book wasn't like, I just way more enjoyed dragons and epicness and writing, and the found family is so good. It's so good. But there was like 50 pages where I was bored of the politics, but like it made up for it. Like, I still enjoyed it, and I see the hype. Like, I definitely understand the hype of this book. It was so good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Different than any fantasy I've ever read. I think dragons are just so freaking cool. Dragons are just so cool. So now I'm gonna share with you the book that I will be reading today. And that book is none other than Throne of Glass. You heard that right. Throne of Glass. I have read the ACOTAR series and Crescent City and House of Sky and Breath. I have not embarked on the Throne of Glass series yet. And I am literally so excited to get back into Sarah J. Maas's just amazing everything. Like, I'm just so excited. I can't even believe that I'm starting this book. I know there's controversy about like whether you're starting with Assassin's Blade or Throne of Glass, and I've just heard like people, like booktubers that I trust, like starting with Throne of Glass, and that it's superior to start with this one because it just makes sense. So contrary to maybe other people's opinions, I'm starting with Throne of Glass. So yeah. Oh, hey guys, fancy seeing you here. To state the obvious, it is Monday, so it's been a day. I have not, yesterday was Mother's Day, and my whole family was over, my in-laws, like literally everyone. So I was baking, and it was just a busy day. So I did not have time to commit to reading a book. But Saturday, which is a clip you saw before this, I did end up finishing Throne of Glass, and all I can say is Sarah J. Maas is a mastermind, and I truly don't understand how she does this, but I don't know how she makes you fall in love with something without really knowing, like, because I know that this is probably just like barely a crumb in this whole series because there's like 7 or 8 books. So like I can only imagine that this premise is like minuscule compared to like the actual plot of the books later on. So I just know that I'm just gonna love them so much. But yeah, I did read this. Again, I'm not sharing my ratings till the end of the video, so you'll have to wait for like my official star rating. Now that it is Monday, I do have a full day to read Crown of Midnight, which is the book that comes after Throne of Glass. And yeah, that's all. That's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna finish the whole thing. I know that I have been really failing on finishing a whole book in one day, and that's because my time management is terrible. For some reason, I think I can finish a 400-page book in 3 hours, which for some people, that could be possible, but for me, like, I'd be taking a lot of breaks. Let's do it. Also, these covers are literally stunning. Like, I love this color theory together. I think it's just so pretty. But yeah, let's read. Alright guys, so I am now halfway through the book and we're making good time. It's still daylight. I'm gonna finish it today. I definitely am. I'm gonna finish it. And I know I've been really lacking in actually finishing the books on the days. And I'm sorry that I look so terrible. And something interesting just occurred to someone that I like. But I'm gonna make dinner, clean up a little bit, and then I'll get back to reading the book. Hello guys, so it is now Tuesday, the next day, and last night I did end up finishing Crown of Midnight. It was so good. Like, this series is quickly becoming one of my favorites. This is literally only the second book, so I can only imagine that it goes up from here. Unfortunately, like, I guess it was a plot twist in the end, but it was like so annoying because on TikTok, like, people just don't realize and don't really care. It literally is like the plot twist in this book, and it is so just annoying. It's just annoying that I'm like are always spoiled. I'm always spoiled by something. Like, I don't even have to utter the word Throne of Glass and it could end up on my For You page. So I'm pretty annoyed about that. Although I still got chills when they said it. Like, I still loved it. It was so good. So yeah, I did finish this one, and today I am going to be starting The Assassin's Blade, which is basically a bunch of prequel novellas about our girl Selena, and just about her being an assassin. And we're just following her and this guy named Sam's POV in this book, and I'm excited. Like, I am really interested in the backstory of her and what she went through. So yeah, we're going to be reading this book today and hopefully finishing. I did finish this one in one day, so most likely we will be finishing this one today as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna basically do the same thing I did yesterday. I'm just gonna sit all day and read. I went to the gym this morning. I got in. I was active. Okay, so there's my activity of the day. This is my main activity of the day. So I am excited to get this under my belt. So let's do it. I just have to say, I think this book is gonna break my heart. Tears will be shed. Hello guys, and welcome to the next day, which is Wednesday. I have decided that I'm only going to do 6 days because I'm kind of busy today and I can't dedicate my day to reading a book, to finishing a book rather. So I'm only going to be doing 6 days. So my last book yesterday was the last book of this challenge, but yeah. So these are all of the books that I read in this series, and I'm just going to share my final ratings and thoughts of each book. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first book that I read in this challenge was Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, and this book I gave a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It was such a different fantasy than what I'm used to. I think because of like the vampires, I just thought it was so like interesting, and it was like more dark and just a very cool fantasy. I loved our main MC. I felt like she was like very smart in this book, and I appreciate when like our main MC is just like a smart person and like knows what she's doing and isn't getting into like unnecessary trouble. I am conflicted about our main love interest in this book because something that happened. The ending literally had me in a whirlwind. I was like, oh, it's just not gonna stop. Like all of these twists and turns. It was so cool, and I'm like very intrigued about the book that follows this. I just thought that it was very interesting and very different, and I loved it. Okay, so the next book that I read was Six Scorched Roses, and this is a novella, but I'm counting it as a book because on Goodreads it says book. So yeah, but I gave this book a 4 stars. A 4 stars for a novella is like unheard of. Like, it was so good. Like, I feel like this is like the best novella I've ever read. I felt like there was so much packed into such a small package. Like, so much story was in here and so much development of the story. The plot and pacing was just like on point. Like, I really enjoyed our story in this book. Like, I loved the characters. So yeah, 4 stars for this novella. Okay, so now we're getting into my more anticipated read, which is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I literally, this is still all over my For You page. Like, I've heard so much about this book and so much positivity about this book. I gave this book a 4 stars. I really loved the dragon aspect of this book. I felt like that was like, it's just so cool because I love dragons. I love Game of Thrones. I love all of that stuff. I just loved the dragons in this book. It was just so cool. I loved our main plot of trying to find a dragon rider, and like, if you don't find one, you die. I felt like that part of the book was so incredible and so interesting. And once our main MC, who I really liked, I thought that she was like a very strong MC for what she had to endure. I feel like that whole process of the book was so interesting and so cool. And then I won't spoil the book, but it's just so cool what happens and what ends up happening with her and trying to find a dragon. I just thought that was so interesting. So a few things I gave this book a 4 stars. I feel like that's a pretty good rating, but I did expect to like this more than I did. And I felt like as soon as we like finished off on the main plot, which I thought was going to be like a bigger plot, the politics in this book and everything else sort of got boring to me. I didn't really understand where the book was going. I felt like after like our plot of trying to find a dragon, after that, I just expected the dragons to be a way bigger part of the story than they were in the first part than the second. And also another weird thing is I felt like the way the dragons were treated. So I'm gonna say a small tidbit spoiler for like, and I'll tell you when I'm done. So if you don't want to be like spoiled, then just skip to when I say spoilers done. I don't know the time frame, but I felt like when our main MC found her dragon, and the fact that she found 2 dragons was so cool and epic, and she was so blasé about it. Like, she was like, yeah, whatever, like, kind of cool. And when the dragons are together, they have a bond so they can talk to each other in their brain, just like things like that. And I felt like she was mean to her dragon. Not only did she get a dragon, she got the largest and coolest dragon, and she also got another dragon. And I just felt like she was mean to them. Like, they're trying to like give advice or just like talk, and she's like, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to hear your advice. And I'm like sitting there and I wanted to cry for the dragon. Like, I just felt terrible. It made me sad. So that was kind of unexpected. I thought that it was really cool that you have a dragon, and I would literally die because you have a dragon, but she just like was kind of mean to her dragon, or just unnecessary like sweeping off of the feet. Like, I'm like, girl, you have a dragon. Like, that's literally so stinking cool. So I don't want to say this was a disappointing read because I enjoyed it, but it was not as good as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so after I read Fourth Wing, I started Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I literally was so nervous going into this book because it's, I mean, if you know about this series, it is so hyped and so just prevalent in the book community. Throne of Glasses, all of Sarah J Maas's books are, for good reason. I mean, like, she's an incredible writer, an incredible storyteller. Like, I literally love everything she has written, like, everything. So I went into this book open-minded about how I was gonna think, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, because I give this book a 4 stars, which I feel like for a start of an 8-book series is really good. I mean, I loved our main girl. Like, she is so stinking sick. Like, she's so cool. I just feel like I'm gonna have to reiterate every time I talk about the series. She's just so cool. The plot and pacing of this book, for those of you who don't know, this is about a girl named Selena, and she has been in, I guess, prison for a couple years, and she is a known assassin who then gets plucked from prison by the king and is given the opportunity of doing I guess in this book, an assassin's Hunger Games for becoming the king's personal assassin, and then she's like free from prison. So that's what this plot is, and I felt like it was very interesting to see just our character, and like felt like we saw the potential of our character in this book, and we got a little taste, and what we got, I was like, she's so cool. And then after I read Throne of Glass, I went into Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, and this is the second book in the series, and I gave this one also a 4 stars. I felt like this was a very good follow-up to the first book. I felt like not a ton of plot happened in this book. It felt very much like a development of the story and a development of the characters and their growth and relationships happen in this book. I really liked it. Like, it's so short. I feel like this is sort of a filler book. Like, these first couple books are going to be filler books, so I didn't expect anything like crazy, but I felt like we just got a lot of growth in her story, a lot of growth in other characters' story, and just like more development of like the next 6 books. Like, I just felt like we just got more plot and story and people's just how they are. Okay, so after I read Crown of Midnight, I went into Assassin's Blade, which is basically a collection of 5 novellas about our main character Selena's backstory and about her before she went to prison and she was like this famous assassin. You're basically following her and just these things that she does as an assassin, and also a romantic story. Like, it was very interesting and I enjoyed it. I give this book 4 stars. I mean, I feel like 4 stars is just a solid rating for these books because I know they're just gonna get better, and I just know that they have so much more potential. Even though I loved them, I always end up rating the books earlier in the series way too high because I loved it, but then I have to also remember the potential of the series, and I just liked it. I thought it was interesting getting to know our main character's like history and what she's been through, and this book broke me. Like, I knew what was gonna happen because this is a prequel and they talk about what happens in the previous books, but I literally knew it was gonna happen and my heart still broke. Like, my heart shattered. It was just so sad. I really enjoyed it. This series I foresee to be a 5-star series. Like, and the way I am with series like this, I will read the next books. Like, I'm going to finish a series before I read any other book. Like, that's just how I am with series. If I don't read back to back to back to back, then I just need to. That's just how I am. And I want to. That's the thing. So I am probably going to finish a series within like the next couple weeks. And I I'm already dreading it. Like, I'm really upset about it already, and it hasn't even happened. But I heard the next couple books are one of the best in the series, so I am really just so excited to see where they go. So yeah. All right, you guys. So I just want to say thank you for watching my videos. If you watch this all the way through, you are a real one, and I enjoy watching these videos, and I really enjoyed making it, so I really hope you guys like enjoyed watching it as well. I do want to do another, I guess, sort of this challenge, maybe with another genre. If you have any ideas for a genre I could do, please leave them in the comments below. But I just want to say thank you again for watching, and I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!